Hi, it's Amy from paperandspool.com. Sorry about the lighting. Tonight is a little darker than I usually have because I'm scrapbooking a little bit later than I have been. I was out a little bit today and actually doing an activity that'll probably be day 8 on my scrapbook. So today I'm going to be working on these photos here, and these are from a trip that we took last week to a festival that's here in town called Glow, and it's a really cool little festival. They've got it set up all indoors, which for us here in Canada is awesome because it means that all of our pictures have no coats, which is unusual for a winter festival here. And it was just hundreds of thousands of little lights all set up together at a local greenhouse. So it's not being used at the moment for plants, and they just had this all set up and it was really cool. They had tons of really kid-friendly activities, and we went, Chris had kind of surprised us with tickets and he had got them in advance. So we were excited to go to that. Now what I did is, this is what I had set out for the day 7. I had the big cork number and the swan paper, and I might still actually try to use that. I had a couple of other ideas as well, so we'll see kind of how it goes here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bit of a flip or an accordion pocket here using, this is a 4x8 card. And so I don't actually have any 4x8 page protectors. And what I will do is just slip this one in a 6x8. And then I'm going to trim it, and I'm using my trimmer to make sure that it stays 100% straight, although you could do that with just scissors. That would be easy enough to do. I'm just going to move I'm going to take my stuff here and just move the album out of the way, because what I'm doing today is a little bit more crafty than yesterday's project, and I think I'm going to need the space. I'll grab that back when we're ready. So here, oops, my A fell out from my holidays. So here's what I've got that I'm going to attach this to. So I'm going to have this so it comes out like this and that it folds in, and that you can kind of open it up like this. And I've got this wood veneer piece from Jessica, Color Cast Designs, that says Twinkling Lights. Most wonderful time, merry and bright. I'm actually going to take out this one here which says This Conversation, because that's one of those things that I kind of had prepared in the foundation pages that I don't think I'm going to use. And sorry, I forgot to mention that this page was not in my foundation pages because it was something that I crafted after I did those initial foundation pages. But it's really kind of cool. It's just all circles. Now, to show you how I'm going to do this here, it's a little tricky. I've got some clear Scotch tape, and cleaner hands today than when I tried to use it the other day. And I'm just going to set this page protector on half. And you could do this with colorful washi as well, except for that that's not really the look that I was wanting to go for here. So I decided to use the clear Scotch tape. I've seen somebody, I think, oh, let's see, now I'm going to try to go off my memory. But I think it was somebody did this during Week in the Life, and I believe it was Allie Richards, who's a fellow Canadian. I don't know if she's watching. Hi, Allie. Did this in her 3x8 Week in the Life album, and she made like a triple accordion, and she did it using packing tape that she cut down. But I buy this clear Scotch tape, and I realized that I could get the same effect. The great thing about it is that you can just pull it off if you make a mistake like that. And I believe I can get the same effect with this that she got with the packing tape, because once you get it on there, it's pretty invisible if you kind of just pull all the air bubbles out. And then once you fold it, it's a little bit more flexible. So I like it a little bit better than the washi edge, because I find that sometimes, depending on the washi, it can be a little bit stiff. So that's what I'm going to have on this side here, is the family photo. And I've got a couple of embellishments here that I'm thinking of trying on this photo. And I was thinking about this together piece, and I actually think that this side is so embellished that I don't need the dark piece, so I'm gonna take that off. But the rest of these I'm liking, they're working for me. I'm gonna take this story out. I might pop it on the back. I just don't think it's a great piece for this side, for the story that I'm working on here. Now what I've got here is photos that I've clipped onto 2-inch circles, and I'm just gonna be cutting them out. So I'm just gonna fussy cut them here. And these are not at all the best scissors for doing this, but they were the scissors that I could find. So we're gonna call that good. All right, so I've got a lot of little photos here, and I'm going to try and fit them into the little circle pages, both on the front and the back. And so this is what it's gonna look like from the back. So you're gonna be able to kind of see through on this side to the photo on the other side, which I think is kind of a cool effect. It's a really neat little thing to do. And I like this sentiment, the Hello Christmas. I think I'm gonna keep that. And then I'm just gonna start kind of popping these in. Now they're not perfect because I cut them by hand. I could have probably done this with my silhouette, but just in the time that I had today to get this done, I didn't feel like setting that up, and I had already got the 2-inch circles set up in Photoshop. I'd had a slightly different idea for how I was gonna pull off this circle look, and then I decided to do it this way. So I didn't want to go through the trouble of pulling them all out of Photoshop in the circle shape and putting them into the Silhouette Studio, because I thought that that was just going to suck up more time than it maybe needed to. So I chose not to do it that way. And I'm seeing I had a little bit of a, should have done these pockets here before I did the tape. All right, got it figured out. Okay, so they had like little light hopscotch for the kids. They had letter writing to Santa, which it was so cool. Max actually wrote out the word Santa. We've been working a lot on writing, but he wrote out the word Santa all by himself with very little help, which was awesome. So I wanted to bring this Santa to this side next to the card that he had written Santa on. Pop that in there. And I've got a couple more yet here. Let me look at the back. What do I got for empty spots? So I'm gonna pop that one in there. This blue one, I printed it blue, and I probably should have flipped it to the black and white, because I don't really love the blue. Already I like this. This looks good. It's a nice balanced layout. It's feeling like it's got a lot of good space. I could just do this. I shouldn't be such a wuss about it. So put that one in there. I'm just gonna straighten these two out at the top here. The one disadvantage of these guys at the top is that they kind of like to twist a bit. Okay, so I've got my little circles and my big photograph ready to go. And I was kind of thinking about adding this one here, this star that says magic, but I'm feeling like this is actually a good level of embellishment, that I don't really need to add a lot of embellishment to that. And so I'm kind of looking at it thinking that the only thing left to add really is the number. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this. I want to pull this kind of little squiggly wreath. Oh, but it doesn't. Oh, okay, I know what to do. I'm all over it. Put that back in there. And I'm gonna put the star. No, too many stars. Stars close together. And I didn't love this idea. Okay, maybe I'll put this green. This one is just a green velvet trim that I cut down into the circle. Oh, but that's too many close by. Oh, this one was double-sided. Perfect. Okay, that works. but I'm going to flip it around because I like the blue better on this side, and then we'll put the Find Joy sentiment on the back. And I'll just flip this around a little bit here. I want to get the more solid one down at the bottom. And then we'll put the Merry and Bright up here. Okay, so that kind of put a little bit of a theme. All the ones, well, not all the ones. Some of the ones with the little sentiments running through them are on the back. And then I've got a few with the sentiment running through on the front. Now, when it's open like this, you're not going to be able to see the big 7. It's going to be on the flap here. So I'm also thinking I'm going to add, oh, and I love that. I think that looks awesome. So I'm going to add the little 7 into this pocket, and I'm just going to leave it unadhered for now because I wonder if I'm going to like the floating look or not. We'll have to see. I might adhere that down yet, but I'm going to leave it there while I work on the big flap. So the big flap is going to have the big 7 on it, and I'm going to put that straight. And that makes me laugh just a little bit because I think I had it originally like set in the pocket kind of sideways, and somebody asked if I was going to leave it sideways because it was obviously sideways. And I said, oh, probably I like that kind of casual look, and now here I am fixing it up to be straight. So I can't remember who, it might have been Tracy. So Tracy, I put it straight for you there. And I'm going to put it down at the bottom here, a little bit of a band. And I think I want to bring some of that green out to the front. And I'm just going to look here if I have a good green trim. So I might prefer that over the paper. I know that I still have a lot of the green paper left. So I could definitely just do a strip of that. Oh, I know what I should do. I originally had down on the day this this swan paper for 7 swans of swimming. I thought that that would be a good place to use it, is on the 7. And I'm wondering if I should do a bit of a combination of that. So, that's too bad. Let me see if I have. Oh, this is the one with the gold foil. Even better. And what I love about this 6x8 paper page, or paper pack, is that the designs are scaled down a bit. So this is the swan design with gold foil on the swan's feathers. And it's a slightly smaller scale, so it actually doesn't look as cut down as the bigger paper would have. And I really love, the only drawback of the paper pad is that you don't see the combinations, like which ones they combine into the same paper. But because I bought some of the big ones, I did see this one was with the green and teal, which I think was such a fabulous combination. So I'm going to put that as well here. So if I kind of line this behind with the big 7 on top, and then, oh right, this was the one that I broke the other day. That might look better if it was a white number, but it's the cork number, maybe a little bit of green. Yeah, that'll work for me. Okay, because it gets the star in there again. So I am going to be putting the number inside because I want to run a little bit of adhesive on it. And I'm going to put the papers inside as well. always a little bit worried about using tape runner on cork because I had one once, just the cork wasn't very like solid, and then as I ran my tape runner across it, it just like came apart into hundreds of tiny little cork pieces. I don't know if that's ever happened to anybody, and so it's just a nightmare to try and put it all back together. So I always worry just a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do with this little star, I kind of want it half on the star and half on the 7 and half off the 7. And it'll be hard to get it to sit flat and adhere well inside the page protector with the 7. So I'll put it on the outside here so that it has a chance to adhere totally to the page protector and stay on there. So this is gonna flip open like that. And then I'm gonna put a tab on here so that I know to flip it open. And I had the little piece of paper ready to go, and I'm not seeing it anywhere on my desk here. I probably just swiped it off to the side as I was working. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my phrase stamp and see what I can find here. I've got, here's the story experience. Now, I don't really have a lot of journaling here, so story doesn't feel like a good fit to me. I like this one, So Many Memories. Christmas with You. Counting Down the Days is good. Savor the Moments is better, I think. Moment of Magic is good. Slow Down, Connecting with Others. Experience the Magic. Is that gonna fit? Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Experience the Magic. So I'm just gonna grab, I think I'm gonna do red on this one because we've got the red and the green. And I would prefer the dye ink to the crafter's ink. The crafter's ink, you just have to give it longer to dry. And I am actually supposed to be upstairs making tacos at the moment. So I'm gonna go with the one that dries quickly. Perfect. Okay, love it. And then, like I did with my other one, I'm just gonna toss a little bit of adhesive onto the very corner of that so that after I slide it in, I can kind of adhere it into the tab, because I just don't like them falling out. And if you've never had one fall out, that's fine. I'm sure that if you're really careful, they don't. But it's not been my experience. I've had them continually fall out. So I want to make sure this one stays in. And now I'm gonna get it in the album here. I'm gonna get that tape out of the way, my tape runner, and we'll just have a little look at how it fits in next to the 6. So there you can see the back of 6, which is just the journaling, and then this one's gonna slide right in, and it's gonna have that little flip out. So there is 7. All right, thanks for joining me for day 7. I hope to see you back for day 8. This is where my Hogwarts gingerbread house story is gonna be going. If you were looking at my Instagram stories, you might have seen that. I got a chance to visit that and it was awesome. So I'm gonna be definitely including that. Thanks for watching. Bye.